Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs Report in the afternoon. Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 9. Give instruction to a wise person, and he will become still wiser. Teach a righteous person, and he will increase in his insight. So the idea of making a positive investment is what Solomon is talking about. So he's already instructed us to avoid trying to invest in the scoffer because the scoffer refuses to learn. But the complete opposite applies to a wise person, to a righteous person. And the reason for that is because there are, as it were, receptors in the wise and the righteous that the scoffer doesn't have. And it's this willingness to learn, to cooperate, to advance. The foolish person is only self-focused, but the wise person has the ability to see things from a diverse perspective. And this capacity to see things from a diverse perspective is really important, especially when we evaluate stuff. You know, James tells us that we shouldn't be judges. And there's a reason for that, because we often have limitations on our ability to evaluate what is going on in a person's life. Now, God has complete ability to evaluate. So God sees things from a fuller perspective. And that's what wisdom does. And the reason why investing in the righteous, investing in the wise is worthwhile is because they have the capacity, these receptors, that enable them to evaluate from a fuller perspective, from a broader perspective, even from a political perspective, because they take into consideration the ideas and the thoughts of all that surround them. They're not just focused upon a driven nature, unlike the scoffer and the foolish, who are driven by the lusts and desires that control them. The wise have the ability to lay down, sacrifice, to, as it were, to surrender what they want in preference to what is best for everyone. So learn to invest in the wise, learn to invest in the righteous. So we need to be sensitive to listen and see where people are. And Jesus says this, don't cast your pearls before swine. It means that if you give something good to someone that doesn't have the ability to recognize the good that you're giving, then they will trample what you give by way of good underfoot. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. Look for the wise, look for the righteous, and invest in them. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow.